on in the day, 10-2 against C. McHugh. So we're going to see if they're both still undefeated when we get there, who the top dog really is.
That's going to be an interesting match, and Will and I were both talking before.
On your mind as much as Oxalet's mind, I get it. All right, here we go. Pump comes down for 10-2. We've said how risky of a play that can be. We'll see if this comes back to bite.
Poison coming down from Oxalet to damage the pump in the tower. 10-2 lets the Ice Spirit go. This is 121.
Poison comes down. 3 Musketeers are split because he knows one doesn't have a poison in hand. Now, did Oxalet bring 2 heavy spells or not? We'll see.
I think Oxalet is, at this point is just cycling back to the poison so we can take care of this. Battle Ram coming down the right-hand side. Tombstone's going to come out. Musketeer's going to lock onto the Tombstone. There's the poison on the 2 Musketeers. And the Musketeer is going to get held up at the bridge by the Skeletons. Musketeer on the left side gets 1 shot. Musketeer on the right side going to do a lot of damage. The log is going to negate that. Ice Golem coming down to hold that bandit up. And the tower will take it down, no problem.
Really impressed with Oxalet's defense there. He was split push, he didn't have a spell, confidently, comfortably cycled back to his big spells. Now here's where 10-2 can try to push that advantage. Oh, another poison comes down! He had it back and cycle again!
When 10-2 played that pump, he gave a little smile, and then Oxalet just played the poison. He was like, I can cycle back to it.
Yeah, he's like, I was just smiling, what was the point of that? So we see another split, and furthermore, we see another split further up this time, trying to put the pressure on a little sooner.
Now I'm curious to see if Oxalet has Miner or Graveyard. We don't really know.
It's a good point. All we've really seen is just the poison and the defensive cycle cards. We haven't really seen the win condition that's going to bring it all home. Think it's maybe a Battle Ram deck?
It could be. We'll find out. Battle Ram coming down. Gonna hit the Tombstone. Musketeers almost took down the Tombstone there, but the Battle Ram was able to connect to it before the Musketeers did. Log on the left-hand side, but that Musketeer is going to do some damage.
Is there no Zap or Log in 10-2's deck? He's seen that Battle Ram twice now. And I haven't seen like a good answer for the Tombstone.
Yeah, I don't know. He might not. He might have Fireball. He might have Fireball in the 3 Musketeer deck.
We talk about deck choices too. I think the reason why 10-2 chose 3 Musketeers is he expected Oxalet to play Graveyard. Oh, he didn't play Graveyard!
Here's the Graveyard coming out. Poison's going to come down in the center. Only catches 1 Musketeer. Zap is going to come down onto the Graveyard. I think 10-2 was saving the Zap for the Graveyard.
Okay.
I don't think he wanted to overcommit onto the Tombstone. Ice Spirit's going to jump onto 1 Musketeer. And this is a huge push on the left-hand side from 10-2.
And the Battle Ram comes out, or the Tombstone comes in the middle to block the Battle Ram. Again, Zap comes down to clean it out. That time he had it. But if the Skeletons get played behind, dude, it's almost like another Tombstone to deal with.
Yeah, Ice Spirit, expect to see an Ice Golem Graveyard push here from Oxalet. There's the Ice Golem, there's the Graveyard. Poison's going to come down onto the 2 Musketeers, most likely. There it is, and the Skeletons are building up onto the tower. Yeah. 10-2 doesn't have the Zap spell, and the Poison's going to take some damage over here.
The forward placed Musketeers was trying to make that poison not good for him, but he's still got a ton of value on the poison. Oxalet's only a few seconds away from winning game 1 of this match. He's just got to hold off this push, which he's done several times before. That Tombstone is
Battle Ram, interesting choice. Is the Log going to clip the tower? Oh, it just misses.
You're right, he's got to get a Log and poison and then not die right after. Or he's going to use the Graveyard.
He's just going to Graveyard. 1 hit comes down. The Skeletons are going to build up. The Zap is going to come down. Poison's going to come out. And Oxalet takes game number 1.
He is so pumped up because he knows that the next game is maybe the most important game of his entire Clash Royale career.
Oh my goodness. 1 game away from a 3-way tie for first place. It's like 20 times.
I know.
Switched up his deck a little bit.
He has a lot more answers to Graveyard this time.
Yeah, he has Executioner Tornado, and he has Minor Poison as his win condition. But he also has Battle Ram Bandit Night Witch, which is very popular. Is this the new trifecta? Battle Ram Night Witch Bandit?
I mean, it seems like such a hard push to deal with. You've got a charging melee attacker, you've got a building attacking troop that turns into barbarians like a tank. Yep. And of course, Night Witch is ground and air DPS. It's just, there's too much stuff to deal with for only 10 elixir. It's really hard, 11 elixir, but it's really hard to deal with.
So Executioner rolling down the left-hand lane. Miner's going to be coming out from 10-2 to stop that Archer. Ice Golem Graveyard push on the opposite side. Defensive poison right there from 10-2. We've seen 10-2 play a lot of defensive poison today against Graveyard, and it's working very well for him so far.
Oxalet's defense was just magnificent there on the left side. He used just like an Ice Spirit and Skeletons 2 elixir to keep that Executioner tied up for like a long time.
Oh, the Bandit is going to get the charge on the tower. The Log is going to have to come out to damage the Night Witch. The Night Witch kills the Ice Spirit, though.
And now there's nothing hitting the Battle Ram, and there's no Log in hand.
Tombstone's going to come down, and the 1 Barbarian might get a couple hits on tower, but the Miner's going to come in, but it's going to come in a little too late. And the 1 Miner, the 1 Skeleton lives. Wow.
Obviously, you'd rather have the Barbarian kill that last Skeleton to get more damage out of the Miner for 10-2. That 1 Skeleton, super fortunate for Oxalet.
Yeah, I think Tin2 is going to continue to save his poison to defend against a graveyard.
Yeah, you don't really need it on offense because there's very few things. Actually, there's really nothing in Oxalet's defense that he's going to put in front of a miner who can kill the poison. He's not going to put the archers up there.
Here comes an Ice Golem graveyard push. The poison comes down and just, oh, it does clip the Executioner. I thought it was just right outside.
He's standing right on the edge of it, going, why am I standing here? Why did I take a step back?
Yeah, so Executioner at half health. That was pretty critical for Oxalet right there. If he missed that Executioner, this push would have been a lot more deadly, but it still seems pretty deadly. Lock is going to come out there. The Bandit did charge. Zap comes down for the Skeletons.
Oh, that Skeletons again is charged up. Bandit connects.
The Bandit's going to connect to the Archer instead of the Tower.
There's one Bat even chipping in a little bit more damage. And suddenly the damage lead has switched back to Tin2 with 30 seconds to go.
Yeah, I think Oxalet, Oxalet is overcommitting with the Graveyard here. Night Witch is going to come down to defend it. Let's see if Tin2 plays the poison.
He doesn't. It's going to get the Bats too from the Night Witch.
That's Oxalet's poison.
Oh. That's what I meant. It's going to kill the Bats as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Bandit's going to charge onto the tower, though. The Miner is dealing some damage. Log is going to come out, and
wow,
this
you're
is
right.
it.
You're right. He overcommitted on that push, and he spent so much elixir trying to pull that push off that he just didn't have enough to defend with. Oxalet giving him the knowing spark, like, you're trying to psych me out, but I'm not throwing that much.
So we are going to a game number 3. Oxalet and Tin2 smiling at each other. They look like they're having fun.
Yeah, they're having some yard and overcame a bad matchup. He's not playing Graveyard this time. I was saying he beat 3 Musketeers with Graveyard, so you think maybe he can outplay those bad matchups.
So Tin2 actually takes out the Night Witch and puts in Archers in his deck. So Miner coming down. Goblins are going to come down to defend against his Bandit. Goblins do exceptionally well against the Bandit. The Poison's going to come down.
It's kind of a questionable poison for Tin2 because
the Night Witch just
not
walks
doing
out.
Much. Yeah, the Archers help clean it up, but like, who cares? Like, Archers would have done that regardless of the poison, kind of.
Yeah, so
maybe he just wants to get the damage on the tower because Tin2's expecting this is going to be a spell cycle sort of finish.
Yep, Battle Ram is going to come out. Expect Oxalet to play the Tombstone right here. It's going to pull the Battle Ram off to the side. Zap comes down for the Skeletons, but the Barbarian is going to die to the tower. Left-hand Barbarian is going to get a couple swings in, but Oxalet is building up a nice push here.
If I spend 4 elixir and get 300 damage on the tower, I guess he didn't spend 6 though, because of he needed the Zap as well.
Well, the Poison's going to come down and clean up this Tombstone, no problem. Giant half health, strolling towards that tower. The Bandit's going to come down, take the aggro of the Mega Minion. Giant's going to get 2 hits, but now this Mega Minion is going to get some good damage. Tin2 has nothing to defend against it. He finally plays the Archers, which stops 1 more hit from the Mega Minion.
Look at the elixir bars. 8 elixir advantage for Oxalet. This is insane. We are 90 seconds away from going into a hard tiebreaker between these top 3. Oxalet is in the best possible position, and his giant poison deck matches up so well. If you're relying on Tombstone to save your tower, poison shuts that dream down instantly.
Yeah, both players equal at elixir now, but Oxalet has a giant onto the field.
Yeah, you got to count on-field stuff when you're counting elixir, and I think that 5 to 6 elixir lead is really showing right here.
Yeah, defensive poison. The Battle Ram pushes the Night Witch out of the poison.
Well, the bats will still die to it, I believe.
Yeah, the bats are going to die to it, but the Mega Minion strolling in with some health. Giant's going to connect for 2 hits onto the tower here. The Mega Minion again will clean up the Bandit, but this time Tin2 does have something to distract that Mega Minion.
Yeah, it's not the Giant so much as the Mega Minion behind it. The Mega Minion is cleaning up all those support troops and then really threatening the tower.
Yeah, here comes a Miner Battle Ram. Battle Ram's going to get distracted.
Oh,
by
he used the zap!
He used the Zap on the Goblins.
Yeah, he had already played the Zap when the Tombstone was getting played, so that was pretty much it for him. Here comes Giant Night Witch down. Oxalet is just a few seconds away. Well, actually, I guess he's still got to do a little bit of damage, but he does have the spells to start spell cycling if he needs to.
30 seconds. Here comes the Poison spell. The Tombstone's going to pull the Giant back, but the Poison's going to take it down, and this is just a massive push for Oxalet right here. He's going to be able to take this tower. Tin2 smiling, looking away. Oxalet throwing the good game, well played.
And, you know, we mentioned that Tin2 had his 2 toughest matches in Week 3. McHugh and Oxalet were going to be the toughest people for him to play, and it looks like he's going to drop the match to both of them, creating that 3-way tie we've talked so much about.
Yep, 3-way tie. That's like the 22nd time we've said that today. But CMC, Oxalet, and Tin2 are now tied for first place.
We'll call a pizza in because we are going to be here for quite a bit longer. We've got 10 matches already played today. We've got 3 more coming up.
Yeah, this is going to be absolutely insane. Oxalet picks up the hammer. It's hammer time for Oxalet. He hammered down Tin2. We're going to a 3-way tie for first place.
2 matches in, 8 left to go. These players still have a lot of room to solidify themselves, but remember, this is the final week. By the end of today, we will know exactly who sits where on this ladder. Right now, Unstoppable is looking really in a tight spot. He's 0-4. He still has 3 games left, so he can potentially pull himself out. And Oxlet posturing himself to potentially be top 2. And remember, these players are playing for a $1 million prize pool. There's so much on the line for these guys, and they have to understand what their potential could be.
I'm kind of sad. Unstoppable, losing that game.
Yeah.
Unstoppable, super stoppable.
He's very, very stoppable.
Gosh, look at that. First place
But-
is $15,000.
Yeah, there's so much money on the line. At least Unstoppable
I
is.
thought the round robin was for the 15,000, so I was like,
Oh,
yes.
you like
No.
that?
Oh, I already picked
And for those of you that don't recognize that voice, we have here the legend himself, the undefeated